Welcome to January and November. I'm kind of used to seeing scenes like this in, the cold months, January, February. Beginning of November, not so much. Chickadees, of course, don't mind. Chickadees don't really mind anything. But I do. I don't want this to happen right now. I don't like it. But I gotta say, it is still kind of pretty. I mean, that fresh blanket of snow, it just looks nice. And even though the poor old Bow River is already frozen over, it does look kind of interesting, even though the ice is so thick you can hear it grinding. And there were snowdrifts. In places, they almost covered the road. But fortunately, because the snow was pretty fresh and it was very cold, like minus 24, they were still powdery and I could drive through them. And the pheasants, they were able to dig through and get at the seeds and stuff that were underneath. They must have been pretty hungry because I figured they would fly away as soon as I stopped, but they didn't. They just kept right on digging. In fact, pretty much everything was stoic about this weather. The magpies and the cattle, they just went right on with their day. And even though it was getting colder and colder the further east that I went, the geese were still flying around. And the wind turbines were still churning along, putting out power with what little wind there was. Thankfully, it was very little, or it would have been even colder. But this January day in November just kept rolling on. I found this little short-eared owl. First one I've seen this year. I didn't manage to get very close to him, but it was sure nice to see. But by 3 in the afternoon, it was getting pretty cold. You could hear the hooves of these cattle walking along. And even though it was bright and sunny, it was bitterly cold. This is the Crowfoot Creek Valley. Less than a week ago, it was golden with stubble. These mule deer, well, just like the magpies and the ducks and the geese, they don't really care about the weather. Same with these partridge. But me, I do. I don't really mind winter, but I like it to happen when it's supposed to. This? It's way too soon.